In this video, I'm going to answer the question, why does business hate soft skills? And how can you turn that into your competitive advantage? So let's start off with an explanation of what are soft skills. The term soft skills was created by the U.S. Army in the late 1960s and included the social skills necessary to lead groups and motivate soldiers and win wars. And the Army realized that these were encompassed by skills that had not yet been cataloged or fully studied. So they defined soft skills as a cluster of productive personality traits that characterize one's relationship in a social environment. It refers to any skill that does not employ the use of machinery. Very interestingly, a study based on LinkedIn data shows that soft skills are skills that companies want even though they hate soft skills, but they are having a hard time finding people that have these kinds of skills, such as creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and time management, and many other skills we'll be talking about in just a moment. So think of soft skills as an umbrella term for skills under 5 basic elements. The first is communication, and the kinds of skills that we have in communication include listening skills, storytelling skills, public speaking skills, empathy skills, persuasion skills, presentation skills, difficult conversation skills, and managing effective confrontation. That's a lot of skills under communication that are considered soft skills by business, but are human skills necessary to succeed in life for everybody else. The second element is emotional intelligence, which includes emotional self-awareness, emotional self-regulation, empathy, compassion, the ability to receive feedback and criticism, the ability to build consensus, the ability to maintain a non-anxious presence in stressful situations, the ability to motivate others to work, and the ability to manage conflict and resolve conflict as a mediator, and of course, tolerance of diversity. The third element are thinking skills, which includes knowing how to solve problems, knowing how to engage and when to engage in analytical reasoning, knowing how to make decisions and understanding the 4 basic decision-making modalities, and also being able to engage in critical thinking skills. The next element are people skills. These include trust, vulnerability, authenticity, transparency, ethics, approachability, patience, integrity. And finally, we have social skills. These include the ability to engage in networking, negotiation skills, relationship building, team building, knowing how to run efficient meetings, and I'm amazed at how many people do not know how to run efficient meetings, and observing appropriate etiquette. So when we're assessing whether or not we've got effective soft skills in place, Simon Sinek asks 2 questions that I think are really useful. The first is, ask any team member, who's the asshole in the team? And everybody will point to the same person, and that's the person who does not have any soft skills. By the same token, ask who is the one who will always be there for you or for the team, no matter what. And everybody will point to somebody else. And that person is the natural leader and has a high degree of soft skills. Soft skills make people flexible in a world which keeps changing, and the problem is that there are old beliefs that get in the way. So for example, hard skills were long considered the only skills necessary for career employment. They were generally quantifiable and measurable from an educational background or from work experience or through interviews. It was pretty easy to see whether or not somebody was qualified to do a job or not. So success at work seemed to be related solely to the technical ability of completing tasks. And for this reason, employers hired new people based only on their objective competencies, what they had on their resumes, for example. But research studies show why the old beliefs are wrong. Study after study after study shows that 80% of achievements in a career are determined 80% by soft skills and only 20% by hard skills. One of the problems is that the development of soft skills is much more difficult than the development of hard skills, and developing soft skills requires actively interacting with others on an ongoing basis and being willing to accept behavioral feedback. In addition, it requires a lot of introspection and self-learning and self-development that can be painful at times as you confront old demons and programming from your past. So why is it that business hates soft skills? Well, first of all, business believes that soft skills threaten the structures that keep businesses going. Businesses like to have employees come in and do as they're told and be silent and just work. And the idea that they have emotional intelligence, can think for themselves, have social skills, are able to solve problems, flies in the face of the old command and control mentality that said that only leaders tell workers what to do. And so there is a strain of thought that thinks that soft skills are, in a sense, revolutionary. There's another strain of thought that says, well, we're just too busy for soft skills, which means that the business is putting all of its effort into making profit and not investing in its people. And it claims to be too busy to take the time out to develop the skills that actually ensure the success of employees and the overall success of a business. Oftentimes I hear soft skills are a sign of weakness. This one really gets me. This goes back to the old myth of the rugged individualist. The idea that people out on the frontier had to rely on themselves and they had to be tough and strong because it was rough out there. Or in the more modern terms, the business world is dog-eat-dog and super competitive, and if you're soft or weak or vulnerable or authentic or have any of these other human skills that we call soft skills, you're going to get exploited and trampled by the competitive maniacs that don't believe in any of this stuff. It's all total BS. But this is what you hear from business people all the time. Sometimes you'll hear soft skills keep us from getting things done, as if getting things done didn't involve interactions between human beings, where there's conflict and where there's negotiation, where decisions have to be made and where problem solving occurs. It's like businesses put their head in the sand around all this stuff. Soft skills are hard to measure. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about that. They really aren't hard to measure. When you think about the costs associated with recruiting an employee, retaining an employee, dealing with turnover, dealing with absenteeism, low productivity, low morale, all of those go right to the bottom of the balance sheet, and they're easy to measure. The data is there. The problem is businesses are just too lazy to measure that data, and so they say soft skills are hard to measure as a justification for not investing in human development. I've also heard executives say that soft skills indicate the absence of hard work. So, of course, there's a conflation here. Soft skills means not hard work. No logic to that whatsoever. But because the term soft skills, meaning human skills, is using the word soft, it's the antithesis to hard or hard work. Absolutely crazy and insane. So how do you develop your soft skills? Well, one way to do it is to take my basic emotional competency course. That'll get you started. And I'll have the link in the comments below, but here's the link to the course, https://dougnoll.co, Emotional Competency. I'm not going to promote it any more than that. Go check it out, and this will get you started on developing all of the soft skills you need to succeed in your career for the years ahead. So the way you develop your soft skills is choose the set of skills you want to develop first. Let me give you two examples. The first example, let's say, is managing effective confrontations. Now, nobody has really thought about this as a soft skill, but think about how many times you have confrontations in the workplace. Now, it may be argumentative fighting, or it could be passive-aggressive fighting, or it could just be strong disagreement. But the ability to manage effective confrontations and make them positive rather than negative is an extremely powerful skill to have. And you can learn how to manage effective confrontations. The easiest way to do this is to take a mediation training course offered at your community mediation center. It'll take you a weekend to learn the skills necessary to diffuse any confrontation. It's that simple. Or how about learning about critical thinking? Supposing that you need to develop critical thinking as a skill. It's really simple. Just enroll in a community college course, all of which have critical thinking and reasoning classes offered to their students. Enroll in the course and learn the basics of critical thinking if you were not taught that in your formal education. It'll take you 12 weeks to master those skills, and they will stand you for a lifetime. How about wanting to learn emotional intelligence? Well, take my basic emotional competency course and that'll solve that problem for you. So who am I? My name is Doug Noll. I'm a lawyer turned peacemaker. I'm an author, speaker, trainer, and visionary. I'm the co-founder of Prison of Peace, where we train murderers to be peacemakers and mediators and stop prison violence around the world. I'm dedicated to helping people just like you live happy, fulfilled, and peaceful lives. I offer individualized training and coaching to a select group of clients. And if you would like to set up a call to explore the possibilities, email me at doug@dougnoll.com. And again, sign up for the Basic Emotional Competency course. It will change your life. It's not very expensive. Check it out on this link. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.